Hey, I'm Katrine, and this is Content Economy Weekly, the show where I watch the content market so you don't have to. This week, 4.2 million books published in the US last year alone. And somehow, the most interesting shelf in that market is almost completely empty. We'll talk about who's missing and why that's actually good news. Let's get into it. $4.2 million books with an ISBN were published in the United States in 2025. That's 15 times more than 20 years ago. The global book market hit $151 billion. Nonfiction alone, $15 billion, growing every year. And the average book sold fewer than 300 copies. Over its entire lifetime, so the market is enormous. The noise is deafening, and most of what's published disappears without a trace. File that under things we knew, but needed data to say out loud. Full source in the article. Worth the read. Now let's zoom in. Of all the books published in English in the US and UK, only 3% are translations. 3%. This is such a known, documented problem that a journal at the University of Rochester was literally named after it. They called it 3%. Germany publishes 12% translations. France, 16%. Turkey, 40%. The English-speaking world reads almost exclusively itself. But here's where I want to be precise. We're not talking about translation. We're not saying, publish your book in Polish, or Arabic, or Mandarin, and wait for Amazon to notice. Amazon itself said less than 5% of books on the platform are available in more than one language. Yes, they launched Kindle Translate in beta last November. That's interesting. But that's their business problem, not your strategy. Your strategy is different. We're talking about nonfiction, expertise, knowledge that took you 10, 20, 30 years to build. And the question is not how to translate it. The question is how to create it in English, from scratch, for a global audience that has never heard of you. That's not translation. That's a different architecture, different archetypes, different metaphors, different case studies, different tone. What works in Warsaw doesn't automatically land in Minneapolis. And a machine translation will not fix that gap. It will actually make it worse. This is transcreation, adaptation, and it's not magic. It's a methodology. The research is in the article. Check the numbers yourself. And here's where it gets personal. 1.5 billion people are learning English right now. That market is worth $48 billion and growing at 6% a year. AI tools are compressing the language barrier faster than any classroom ever could. But AI is not a translator. If you hand your expertise to a language model and ask it to write your book, you'll get a machine copy of your knowledge. Grammatically correct, culturally flat, instantly forgettable. There's a spectrum here. On one end, writing by candlelight, every word handcrafted, no tools allowed. On the other, paste your notes into ChatGPT and publish what comes out. Neither works. The interesting territory is in between. Using AI in the right doses, for structure, for language calibration, for research synthesis, while keeping the author's concept, the author's voice, and the author's judgment fully in control. That's a specific skill. It's learnable, and it changes the economics of the whole thing. Because here's what changes when you get this right. A non-English expert with 20 years of experience is not competing with 4.2 million books on Amazon. They're competing with an empty shelf. Their niche, in the English non-fiction market, is structurally underpopulated. Not because the expertise doesn't exist, because nobody built the English language product around it yet. Source is in the article, one click away. One more thing. Amazon Crossing, Amazon's own translation imprint, is the most prolific publisher of translated literature in the United States. 400 books, 42 countries, 26 languages. The biggest player in the market built their entire business on one observation. The expertise exists everywhere. The English packaging doesn't. But Amazon Crossing is not the only path. It's not even the most interesting one. You can build your own English nonfiction book and publish it independently. On Amazon, on your own site, through your own audience. The infrastructure exists. The tools exist. What's missing, almost always, is the methodology. And when we work with experts on entering the global market, we almost always recommend starting with a book. Not because the book will make you rich. It probably won't, at least not directly. But a well-built non-fiction book becomes the foundation for everything else. Courses, workshops, consulting, speaking, content, all of it can grow from the same intellectual architecture. The book is not the product. The book is the blueprint. We'll go much deeper on that in a future episode. But this week, I want to hear from you in the comments. If you're building toward a global audience, is a book on your radar? Or are you thinking about something else entirely? Every comment gets read, and your answers shape what we cover next. Language was the barrier. It's becoming less of one every year. What doesn't change is the work of making expertise legible. Knowing what you know, packaging it in a way that travels, and building the audience that finds it. That's not translation. That's architecture. And if you're sitting on 20 years of knowledge that the English market has never heard of, you know where to find us. That's it for this week. New episodes every Wednesday on the Invisible Expert YouTube channel. Prefer to listen? Find us on Apple Podcasts. All sources and links are in the show notes below. Follow Global Content Studio on LinkedIn. Link is in the show notes. We watch this market so you don't have to. I'm Katrine. See you next Wednesday. Same place, same time.